Before we get very far into our next story, we do have a warning for you tonight. What you're about to see and hear may not be suitable for children. Tonight, take a walk in their world.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Transpicuous News, our first update for 2018, because it's 2018 already. What the fuck? We're going to talk today about money. We're going to talk today about the perceptions of money and perhaps maybe getting lost in the philosophical question. An article came out in the news 2 days ago. When I read it, I was like, oh, I really need to record something. And then life got in the way and I basically couldn't get back to it. And then this morning, someone in the Unfuckers group posted a brilliant TED Talks video. And it basically pushed me to get off my ass and make this recording. I will link, I'm not going to play the video because we all know how that goes with copyright bullshit. I will put it in the archive article that will go along with this. I want to talk about the money in your pocket. And I want to talk about a basic theory that I've been talking about. Nick and I have been talking about this since 2011. When people talk money, when they talk economy, we talk about these government words that are thrown around, the GDP, we talk about Wall Street, we talk about debts and the national debt and debt ceilings, etc. And it's twisted around to talk about, or to mean, to give a picture of what that country's economy is. And it's bullshit. Because an economy, the health of an economy, whether you're talking country, state, province, or right down to the municipal, is measurable in one thing only, and that is the amount of money the people have in their pockets. If people have money in their pockets to spend, then the economy does well. It's a proven fact. If people don't have money in their pockets, it doesn't matter what the government does, or the corporations, or the banks. The economy will not survive. The economy falters and falls over. Because it basically comes down to the wealth of the people. So I want to show you an article. We are going to talk today, we're going to talk about money, but we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. Yeah, we're going to talk about cryptocurrencies. Just suck it up for a moment. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about because it seems to me that within the awake and aware communities, people on a lot of levels get lost in the philosophical question. They get so tied up in the philosophical questions of the who, what, where, why, when, that they don't pay attention to the how. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I want to show you this article. This is an article that came out, it came from Bitcoin.com, but it is sourced through Bloomberg and several other very mainstream financial articles. Okay, Japan's GDP grows due to Bitcoin wealth effect. You got to love that they've already come up with a little name for it. Okay, these financial analysts have claimed that Bitcoin will assist Japan in a gross domestic product GDP boost of 0.3% heading into the first 3 months of 2018. At the end of 2017, the cryptocurrency boasted a 12 trillion yen market in Japan. If the trend continues into early this year, which it will, that could translate into lifting Japanese personal consumption by anywhere from 0.2 to 0.4 billion yen. And they're calling this phenomenon the Bitcoin effect. Now, here's the thing. The more profound real-world case is hidden in those numbers. It appears that Japanese consumers and retail businesses will also benefit from the country's crypto craze. They've posited that this is something akin to a wealth effect that is happening. Well, why is that? Japan has really jumped on board cryptocurrencies, and they're trading. And what happened? People are making money. People are making money. They're putting money into their pockets. Now, this is something I want to talk about just quickly because, like I said, people are getting lost, in my opinion, in the greater philosophical question without really paying attention to the reality. Do we know who owns Bitcoin? No, we don't. Do we know who created Bitcoin? No, we don't. Do we know who controls Bitcoin? No, we don't. And we can go through hours and hours and hours and days and weeks and months of deep conversations. Look at all the evidence and we can pull it all apart and we can talk about how it came to be, who's controlling it, et cetera, et cetera. And that is sometimes the philosophical question that people get lost in. Now, is it controlled by the Fed? Is it under the control of, to be used as the remirroring, if you will, the relaunching of a brand new financial tool of oppression? Could be. Absolutely could be. And this is where people get lost. Right now, we all have to put food on the table. We all have to put a roof over our heads. We have to buy our kids shoes. And to do that, we are using fiat currency. Whether it's euros, dollars, yen, doesn't matter. We're using fiat currency. We're paying our taxes. We're working slave jobs. We're already doing this. Because it's what we have to do to survive. Now, we have a situation that is coming up right now, that has been coming up, that I've talked about. What we're talking about, here is an opportunity for people to make money. Now, I talked about this in a recording last month, I think it was. Who can keep track of time anyways these days? Putting aside the Bitcoin question, and even some of the altcoins, the alternative currency coins that are coming up. No, we don't know who controls them. But there is an opportunity right now, a proven opportunity, for people to use this as a tool to put more money in their pockets. And I'm not talking about fucking buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis or billionaire Playboy mansions and all the rest of it. I'm talking about putting the money in the common person's pocket to buy food, put a roof over their head, and buy their kids new shoes. Plain and simple. Now, I want to move on for this for just a second. I want to show you a video. This is an excellent video. It was, hold on. Let me just move myself out of the picture a bit here. TEDx Black Rock City. And the woman who's speaking is a currency activist. I love that title. Hollis Doherty. Now, she talks about an amazing thing that happened after World War II, or I believe it was after World War II. The Great Depression would have been in Austria. I'm assuming World War II. Isn't that funny? I didn't grab the date on this. Talked about what happened in a small town in Austria when they were severely depressed. And the mayor of the town recognized the only way to get for his town to survive was for him to create a secondary monetary system. A monetary system that would put money into the pockets to be used. Because he recognized that the currency of the time, the national currency, was, besides being debt-based currency, was also a hoarding currency. It was hoarded. You got this currency and you hoarded it in bank accounts. The government hoarded it, the banks hoarded it, the large corporations hoarded it, and therefore the economy stagnated because there was no money flowing. And that to get beyond that, he had to create a new monetary system for his town that would increase the lifeblood, if you will, of their economy. A monetary tool that would flow, i.e., it would be used. Now, she gives all the details in this, and Hollis does a great job of outlining how this worked. Worked so well in the 15 months that this mayor did this project, played this experiment, that a whole group of other local mayors came to him and said, oh my God, we have to do what you've done. Tell us how you did this, because your town went from being bankrupt to booming in 15 months. And of course, what happened? Well, the Austrian government didn't like that one bit, and they came in and closed the whole thing down. End of story, accepts that it is a lesson learned. He created a currency that could be used alongside, that would give the people the ability to use it, not to hoard, because he did it in such a way as it was impractical to hoard it, because if you hoarded it and put it in your pocket, it lost value. The more you spent it, the better it was. Two currencies. This is important because, like I said, it goes back to the money in our pockets. Now, I want to give a personal experience that I went through myself. Back in mid-2000s, I was involved in a lot of online stuff, and I had a vast network of contacts. And I had quite a few contacts within the farming industry. And I got messages posted up to me by two friends of mine who were in Canada. They were wheat farmers who put up big notices to everyone saying, oh my God, if you guys are bakers, you better go buy your fucking flour now. Because Harper's taking it down the wheat board. We've got major shit going on here, and the price of wheat is going to go through the roof. So if you're bakers, hoard flour, go get it. And I was smart and I listened to her because I trust this woman. And I went to my local grocery store, and he had 10 kilo bags of flour that were from a smaller mill. And I made a deal with him to buy those bags at $7 a bag. $7 for a 10 kilo bag of flour. Now, it put a real dent into our budget for the food for that month, because I went and spent almost $50 on flour. But a month later, the price of a 10 kilo bag of flour skyrocketed to $19. $19. Now, I had my hoard of flour, and you know what happened? Because I had spent that, I then saved so much more money through the rest of the year that it put more money in my pocket to spend on other things. About 2 months after that, I got another message from a friend of mine who's a farmer down in Georgia, who said, if you like peanut butter, go buy your peanut butter right now, because the peanut fields did not do well this year, and they're already talking about there's going to be a massive blowout because of new laws that have been put into place. Pardon me. Go buy your peanut butter. And I did the same thing. I took my little bit of money that I had, and I went and bought 10 1 kilo jars of peanut butter. And I paid, I don't know, about $3 a jar. I put a dent in my purse for that week, putting all that money into peanut butter. But the next month, those $3 jars of peanut butter were $12 overnight. Boom. So in the end, I put money in my pocket, and that money went to buying other things for my family. I was able to buy more fresh vegetables. I was able to buy more because The wealth of our family's economy was measurable by the money in our pocket. There are opportunities right now for people, as we've talked about, and Nick talked about in a post in the Unfuckers Room back in December, to invest a little bit of money into, not Bitcoin, never mind Bitcoin, the alt currencies. And in doing so, being able to make some money back that goes into your pocket. Pay a little bit, invest a little bit for quite a big turnaround. And yeah, maybe you don't know who runs that cryptocurrency. I mean, you can do your homework. There's some brilliant, and I've talked about this on shows, there's some brilliant projects going out right now that are running ICOs, that are running cryptocurrencies to launch some incredible projects. But the end result is the same. If you can invest $100 today, tomorrow, this week, last month, and in 6 months' time have built that investment to $5,000 and you can pay off your car loan, guess what? You've just put into your pocket all the money that you would have normally paid on your car loan from then on in. $100, $200 a month that normally you'd have to pay for your car loan. Oh, you paid off your car loan. Now that's in your pocket to spend. And here's the big thing. When you do this, yes, you have to trade back out of your altcoins. You have to trade back into Bitcoin and from there into your fiat currency. But when you pull your money out, you're pulling fiat currency out of the system, out of the hoarders, out of the banks, and putting it back into circulation, making money flow. Now, again, we can get lost in the philosophical question and the philosophical debate of, do we need money? Money is evil. Yes, we can. Doesn't change the fact that we still have to feed our families. So I just wanted to put this little note out there because I really hate seeing so many people get lost in the never-ending question while they're suffering. Maybe there are tools in front of you that you can use to help make your family economy a little bit easier. In which case, it takes a little bit of energy on your time to do the research, to get involved, to learn how to go about it, but it is an opportunity. So I just wanted to leave that there with you. Just like that. A little opening for 2018. Thoughts to ponder. Because, we can bitch and scream about the economy or we can do something about it. Just saying.